AppV enables you to virtualize an app so that it remains independent of all other apps. It allows apps to coexist on the same computer without them conflicting. It enables the apps to run not on the client, but to appear to run on the client. It's built into Windows 10, but is also available as part of the Microsoft Desktop Optimization Pack for earlier versions of Windows. The first thing you need to do is to install the AppV sequencer. Install the AppV sequencer on a 64-bit Windows 10 Enterprise computer. Run setup in the AppV installer's 5.1 folder. Obtain the installer files for the app that you want to sequence and copy those files to the sequencing computer. Create a new virtual machine to use for sequencing tasks. Locate and open the Microsoft Application Virtualization Sequencer in the Start menu. The next step is to configure AppV apps. Do this by completing the following high-level steps. Firstly, create virtual packages which you can deploy to computers that are running the AppV client. Upgrade and edit configuration information for packages you've already created. Convert virtual packages. When you create a package, you also create the following files. An MSI file that you'll use to install the virtual package on the client computers. A report.xml file that contains all issues, warnings and errors that were discovered during the sequencing in case you need to troubleshoot the package. An AppV file, which is the virtual application file. A deployment configuration file that regulates how the virtual application is deployed. A user configuration file that regulates how the virtual application runs. Another alternative to consider is UEV. This monitors Windows, apps and application settings that are applied when users are at their computers. It captures those settings, saves the settings to a defined storage location such as a network shared folder, and then applies those settings to a different computer or device assigned to the user. Microsoft UEV is available on computers running Windows 7 or more recent versions of Windows, and can be managed both by using Windows PowerShell or WMI to configure and deploy UEV agents. It includes app setting templates for various editions of Microsoft Office, Internet Explorer, Windows accessories and so on. How UEV works. Users can change their personal settings on any device that you include in the UEV synchronization group. These changes are saved to a file and the file is synchronized during sign-in. App settings that can be synced come from apps that are locally installed on the device, apps that have been sequenced using AppV, or even remote app apps. You can use stored settings as part of a recovery process if a machine is re-imaged or reinstalled. To deploy a UEV, perform the following. Deploy the settings storage location. Deploy the UEV agent. Install the group policy template. Install the agent generator. Deploy the settings template catalog. Deploy the settings location templates. And then administer UEV. Typical tasks would include manage scheduled tasks, restore app and Windows settings, configure appropriate GPOs, manage settings packages, incorporate AppV applications, and incorporate Configuration Manager as applicable.